as Mary said, we are here we are gathering and to learn and remember and to awaken to our tools and the ancient wisdom. Mary has provided this opportunity for us to learn for 42 years. And yes, so thank you very much. I, for one, am so grateful because when I met Mary, I was like, oh my gosh, there's somebody like me. So I had a place to come, and so I've been here every year since I met Mary in '96, except one. So I have grown exponentially in myself, in my spirituality, in my faith. Mary has taught me how to trust in spirit. And we say we have faith, we know what that definition is, but really sometimes we get in our own way because we really don't trust divine. I learned to trust divine when I jumped off a very high cliff. And I have a fear, or had a fear of heights. I came up to the edge 5 times. And I looked at the fella that was going to jump with me and I said, oh, heck, what's fear anyway? Because I realized I wasn't trusting God to get me safely to my goal. And so I looked at him, what's fear anyway? And I jumped. And it was beautiful. I was in the air forever. And it's like, okay, I've been here for a while. And then I saw the trees, and then I knew I was close. And it was divine. And when I crawled up or climbed up to the top and someone said, oh, I would love to do that. That was so magical. But I have a fear of heights. And I said, me too. And she said, when did you get over it? When I jumped off that cliff. And it's like walking the fire walk. Rick and Marlita have provided us for many, many years the fire walk to come across. And when you walk across those coals unscathed, and sometimes you have a little hot spot and it's just showing you where you have something to work on. But when you walk across those coals, you know you can do anything you put your mind and your heart to. And that's what Mary has provided for us all these years, is a place to learn, to gather, to learn from others how to walk through spirit, walk through life with our complete faith and trust in divine. Anna, I love you.
I love you too.
Do you have something you want to share?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So it's your show.
Can I introduce Paul?
Yes, I will, in a few minutes. So there's a couple things that we would like you to do. So over the course of the weekend, kind of tune in to how you can contribute to raising the frequency and the consciousness within yourself and for humanity, and commit to that. And then at our closing ceremony, we will go around the circle and you can step up and voice your commitment. So a lot of people have been working, like Brian Besco. He's been spending years going around tuning the grid. So here we have the natural electromagnetic grid of the Earth. And then the powers that want to be in control created another grid over the top of that. And pretty soon the natural grid was not working. It was always working, but it was damped down from the imposed grid. And we kind of have been going through life and we get tamped down with life and we get heavy with matter. And then we get to come here and other places to recognize that we are heavy with matter and to let that go. And there's so many ways and so many gifted people and directions that whichever rings true to you, go to that person or go to that way to help you heal and transmute with grace and ease. And that's the key word, grace and ease. You don't have to suffer. It doesn't have to be hard. As soon as you make the commitment and you voice it out loud, it allows creation and divine to start orchestrating the way to achieve your goal. If you misstep, restep. It's just that simple. So no guilt, no fear, just trust, in faith. So believing in ourselves, and we have an oil for that, believe. So coming back to the conference and Mary, there's a lot of people that have come that haven't been here in a long time, and they are coming back to reintroduce themselves to the energy and the grace and the blessings that they receive here in Sakkara. So look in yourself what you have in yourself that needs to be healed and recognized. And there's no guilt that goes with it. We're human and we're living a human life, but we're also moving into that totally spiritual life. And it's difficult to be in a higher consciousness if you're hanging on to the anchors and the ropes that tether you to the third dimension. So take this opportunity for this weekend to allow yourself to see, to go deep within. And if you have a fear or you have a question or a lack of self-worth, whatever that negative, no longer serving you energy is, ask yourself, when was the first time you experienced that energy? And then go back and heal that moment. And when you heal that very first time you experienced it, even if you don't have it in your mind, when you direct your energy to do so, it does. And when you heal that, it heals everything up to the present and everything up through the future. So you continue to walk your clearness instead of just working single experiences and events that took place in your life. Go to the very first time you experienced that and heal your way up. And the beautiful thing about doing that is when you heal yourself, your parents get an epiphany and get a healing, and your lineage, those going forward, your children. So 7 generations back, 7 generations forward, get the opportunity and the blessings of you healing yourself. So, you're welcome.
Right now, we're going to talk to Paul Esch, who's going to talk to us about Tesla. Many of you may know or may not know that Tesla came to this area in 1904 and gave us the dam system on the Kalamazoo and the other rivers around here. He came here because this is one of the ground planes that can communicate. So I'm going to have Paul talk about developing Tesla's technology. Tesla has more patents in the U.S. Patent Office than any other inventor. And he studied the Great Pyramid. And that is where he learned most of his knowledge from, studying the Great Pyramid. The Great Pyramid is an orgone generator. And it's a layer of stone, a layer of sand, a layer of stone, a layer of sand, which creates an orgone generator. And when we put aluminum siding on our pyramid in 1975, was it 1975? No. Anyway, 1976, 1975, we rang it like a bell and it connected all the pyramids. And when it connected all the pyramids, we suddenly had Navy intelligence out here. Why did we have Navy intelligence out here? Because we changed the frequency within the oceans and the rivers. Unfortunately, there was our government created a radio station that went around the world to communicate with submarines to keep them submerged. And when we activated our pyramids, it prevented the electrocution of the oceans. So that was the first time our pyramids saved the planet. Now we're going to have Paul talk a little bit about Tesla energy. You want to jump up here?
So I met Paul many years ago through a friend of mine that was working with Paul. And Paul was about to record his little ditties, as he called them. He used to travel with an evangelist. And when Paul would sing these little ditties, people's amalgam fillings and the metal in their mouths and their teeth would turn to gold. So they would smile, and everybody would have these beautiful golden teeth. They would smell taste the tin and the metal as it was transforming in their mouths. And they even tested it, and yes, it was turning into gold. So his nickname at the time when I first met him was the Tooth Fairy. So what was really brilliant is he is brilliant and what would you say, inventor, and along with singing these little ditties, and somewhere there's a recording, and I got to sing harmony with him, which was very nice. But Paul also had all these little gadgets that he would create. And the beautiful thing about what he's going to share with you today is he saw these Tesla beds and he said, these are quite pricey, and I can create these for quite a lot less. And he has. And so he's sharing it. So a little commercial for Paul is he will be at the shed. So if you are interested in experiencing one of his sessions on the Tesla bed, you can go over and sign up. And with that, you're ready. And I'm going to, do you want it in the holder?
Yes.
Okay. Come in. Paul Esch.
Thank you, and good evening. Let me say it again. Good evening. Okay, all right. Yeah, I was at a flea market and walking around, and this one person behind the table said, "Hey, are you Paul Esch?" And I looked at him, and I'm going, I wonder how in the world that person knows me, And I went up to him. I said, I'm Paul Esch." And she said, "Well, I didn't say Paul Esch. I said, are you Polish?" But anyway, I thought I'd throw that in there. But anyway, a number of years ago, I was in India for a whole month, and when I got home, I looked at my son Michael, and I said, over there in India, they have this saying that there's many, many paths to enlightenment. And so my son looked at my daughter and said, "Did you hear what Dad said? He said there's over there in India, they have this saying that there's many, many paths to enlightenment, and we had to stay home, so we must be homopaths." And then so my daughter looks at Michael and me and says, "Well, Dad, he likes to walk among the trees and the flowers and walk the beach, so he must be a nature path." And finally my son said, "No, he's not a nature path. He likes to mess with people's minds. He's a psychopath." But anyway, I would like to share with you some real simple ways of bringing health to your body. And one is through the power of your words, because we live in a dimension of words. And by your words, you are elevated and lifted up, or by your words, you're pulled down. And so one way to really bring healing into your body, you hear yourself say it this way: "I am the expansion of light within every cell of my body. I am the expansion of light within every cell of my body." Together, "I am the expansion of light within every cell of my body." Let's say it again. "I am the expansion of light within every cell of my body." Now you can add a few other, you can bathe in that then. Just bathe in that word that you just spoke. You spoke that into existence because most of you know that the words I am is words that, well, it's the name of the Creator, right? So the word I represents source, Creator. The word M, how do you spell M? A-M. Well, where I'm at in my consciousness, that means ascended master. Oh, wow. M-A-M, ascended master. So every time you think, feel, or say, I am, you're saying, I ascended master. I ascended master Jesus. I ascended master Paul. I ascended master John. I ascended master James. Well, let's get a lady in there too. So I send a master Ruth, and but anyway, then right after those two words, I am. Whatever words are coupled with that is where the I am energy is flowing into to bring into physical manifestation, and that's a divine principle. It's not a belief any more than going to a light switch and you turn on a light switch. Is it according to your belief that the light comes on? No, it's not based on your belief. It's based upon divine principles of electricity. And so those words, I am, is based on universal principle and laws, and it acts whether you believe in it or not. And so by saying, I am the expansion of light within every cell of your body, that's an activation. That is bringing forth light into the physical body. And now, a year ago, I brought a table here that had a Tesla tower. Now, none of you heard about Nikola Tesla, right? You've been studying his work. And in fact, Tesla's friends loved to be around Tesla when he was firing up these huge Tesla coils. And most of you know how a Tesla coil is made, where you take this fine wire and you wrap it around a pipe, like a 4-inch PVC pipe. Then you have what they call a primary coil to activate the secondary coil. And so with this design, you can see our primary coil is a 12-pointed star. And by using a 12-pointed star, it kept my driver very cool. It didn't take a lot of heat sinks and fans to keep the driver cool. Especially when you're running a large tower like this, most scientists and other people that are making Tesla towers, they're saying, oh, you can run it for about 45 minutes, then you got to let it rest for about 15 minutes to let it cool off. So then you can activate your Tesla tower again. Well, with this design, with the 12-pointed star, you can run it all day long, even all night long, and your driver barely gets warm. And so we put about 160 volts in the primary coil and pulse it with frequency. And then the output is it's about 500,000 volts. And so the output of the coil at each end, we have noble gas light bulbs. And the noble gas light bulbs help to build this field, this electrical field that your body's laying in. So, in other words, this goes underneath the massage table. And then at the head and at the feet end is where the noble gas lights are. And then when your body is in that field, it amplifies, it intensifies, and multiplies your own natural healing energy. So it's like a miniature universe. And our modern scientists say that over 90% of the universe is plasma electrical energy. So if you were to take creation or take a universe and you shrink it down to the size of a table, you wouldn't even want to touch it because you would get a little electrical shock. That's because of and maybe that's what keeps all this energy, helps to keep everything in divine order and the stars in orbit and so forth. But anyway, so this miniature universe, suppose, for example, if you had a scratch on your arm, nature comes into play and begins to heal up that scratch. But if it has a hard time doing it, the number one reason why it doesn't heal so fast is because the lack of cellular communication. The lack of cellular communication is the root cause of why people are not getting well, because in reality, your body, all the organs and glands, system and functions of your body, is designed to heal itself. But because of lack of cellular communication, well, why do we have lack of cellular communication? Well, maybe it's the air we're breathing. Maybe you're living right next to a chemical plant and you're breathing a lot of chemicals. Or maybe your diet, maybe you're eating too many potato chips and ice cream. Maybe it's your diet that's slowing it down. Or negative thinking. A negative attitude will slow it down. And so by taking that scratch and you put it into this imitation of a magnetic field of the universe, it amplifies, reestablishes cellular communication, and the body heals itself. I took this system up to, over to Pennsylvania, and I was sharing it with some Amish people. They don't even have electricity, so, but anyway, they had a solar cell and had a battery operated, and then had the inverter. And so we fired up the table, and this one Amish lady had a migraine headache. And so I told her, just go ahead and lay on the table and see what happens. And she said, my head's hurting too much. I don't even want to lay down. I said, well, you don't have to lay down. Just sit on the table. In about 10 minutes, all the headache totally went away. She goes, wow, that table healed my headache. And I said, no, that's not what happened. What happened was the table, the energy field through the table just washed away the beaver dams and the blockages and the interferences and reestablished cellular communication, so your body healed your headache. So you got it. That's basically the bottom line of what this Tesla energy field does, that it amplifies, it intensifies your own natural healing energy. It amplifies it and steps it up where your body is designed to heal itself, and so it starts to do that. And I was down in Florida, and I went delivered one of these systems to a man that was 89 years old. His name is John. So I went to John, and he said, the reason I'm buying this table, I went to the doctor, and he only gave me 6 months to live, and I didn't have any money to pay him, so he gave me another 6 months. As a joke. But anyway, he was less than 5 feet and thin and very, very healthy. But he says, I see this technology. It's really incredible. They used it back in 1920. in the 20s, they used this type of system in some hospitals, and it got outlawed because they were healing up all kinds of skin conditions and getting rid of lupus and some more of the other problems, and it was just way too cheap of a cure. Well, anyway, so he bought the system, and just not so far away was a health food store with a restaurant. So I took him to the restaurant. We drove there. It wasn't too far away. It was 3 minutes. And so it was a wonderful meal. And on the way back, John goes, "I hope the police and the cops are not at my house." And I said, "Well, now why would be the policemen be at your house?" He said, "Well, this morning I cut up a bunch of bananas, and I took 3 boxes of Cheerios, and I put them in my bathtub, and I poured some milk over it, and the policemen and the cops are looking for a silver killer." Yeah, a serial killer. And I'm going, okay, this guy is really, really funny. And maybe that's why he's so healthy, because he has such an incredible attitude, you know. But anyway, the other thing I'd like to share with you, since that time last year, I met a lady. Her name was Cheryl. She was a nurse. She was a nurse for over 40 years. And she studied the deep cellular communication and the way the blood interacts with vaccines, and how the snake venom and the spike proteins and so forth. And so she came up with her method of pulling that all out of the body, and a lot of people got healed just by doing her simple protocol of a bath soak. So when you got time, you get your phones out and you take a picture of this. And I'm using her technique of detox bath along with the table system, because the bath itself will bring an enormous amount of healing to your body to pull out the heavy metals, the toxins, the poisons, and the vaccine stuff that people got shot up with. And not only that, one of the ingredients, believe it or not, is alfalfa hay. How many have heard that? That alfalfa hay, you can buy that at any pet store. It comes in a bag about this big, alfalfa hay, and you make a tea bag out of it. You take a mesh bag, and it's about 4 inches by 8 inches, and put some hay, the alfalfa hay in there, and put it in your hot water bath. And what happens, it begins to pull out the residue, the toxins, poisons, but also it the parasites will gravitate to, it's like a magnet. It just pulls the parasites out of your body, and even comes through the skin, those parasites, and goes into that bag. And then when you're done with that bag, you want to stick it in another sealed up bag like it's really polluted, toxic waste, and get rid of it. And so that's one of the ingredients. So when I only have for those that don't have a camera, I only have a few of these left. So take a picture of it, and all the instructions is here, how to detoxify the body. And she's really done her homework. And she gave her homework to another fellow that made this brochure also on other subjects and how to bring healing to your body. And so I wanted to introduce that to you too. Another thing I came across, which is incredible, it's healing energies of heat. Healing energies of heat. and Light, a quantum leap into healthcare. Now, this book is out of print. It's a $20 book, but I found one for $70 because a scientist from Russia said, "Paul, you got to get this book." I said, I don't hardly ever do any reading because I listen to so much CDs and tapes, and I'm more audible, for listening to universal truths and so forth. And and so I said, I don't want to spend $70 for a $20 book. And he said, no, you get it. You buy that book. And I'm really glad I did. I spent the money, and it goes into the history of laser light therapy as well as LED therapy. And back in '85, I started off with LED therapy light pens. And we still have therapy light pens. And we added shungite to it, which made it even work better. In the last 3 years, we used the red light healing shungite light. And so this book was verifying the healing effects of LED therapy. And now I want to share you with about the heat that I've been in this health field and making healing equipment since 1980. And we have a huge manufacturing company to build all these healing devices. In fact, our storage for parts is large enough to put 3 school buses in our manufacturing company. And so when I saw this word heat, I said, what are they talking about heat? Well, this instrument, there's a page right here shows you an instrument of heat, and it got outlawed because people were healing up cancer of the colon, men that had prostate problems, and people that had digestive stomach problems, and a lot of other things got cured. And if you take a look at the heating probe, you're going to shoot me. But anyway, I shared this with a lady down in Naples, Florida, and now she calls it the butt sauna. Because it's a probe about the size of your thumb. You put it up your butt and get 113 degrees, heating that central station, where it's a grand central station at your anus. And just for 20 minutes doing that once or twice a day, you're going to get a lot of healing in your body. Well, I went online trying to find an instrument similar to it. You can't find them. They're nowhere to be found. So, after doing some research, you can go to Amazon and look for a heater stick. It's called a heater stick. And I bought a bunch of them to find out which one's the best, and this one is the best. It's the only pink one you can find on Amazon. It plugs into a USB port. And so all you got to do is get a little battery phone charger that takes a USB port, and you got something you can go to bed with. And you will be amazed of the prostate problems that go away, any colon problems, even cancer of the colon, were healed just by the heater. And this book gives you a lot of history on heating up the butt. when they first came out with the instrument, they gave it to a farmer that had bad hemorrhoids. In 4 days' time, all the hemorrhoids went away. And he calls the company and says, I want to buy the instrument. And they said, well, it's not for sale. It's a prototype, and we're just experimenting with it right now. He said, I'm sending you a check for $2,500, and if anybody tries to come and get the instrument, they're going to see the end of my shotgun. It's in the book. So everything I shared with you tonight, this evening, is there any questions? Electrical aspirin. It goes like this. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. Or from the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. Or from the center where the will of God is known, oh, let purpose guide the little wheels of man. The purpose which the masters know and serve. Oh, from the center which we call the race of men, oh, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Oh, let light and love and power restore the plan of God on earth. Oh, let light and love and power restore the plan of God on earth. Or from the center where the will of God is known, oh, let purpose guide the little wills of men. The purpose which the masters know and serve. Or from the center which we call the race of men, oh, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Oh, let light and love and power restore the plan of God on earth. Oh, let light and love and power restore the plan of God on earth. One more time. Oh, let light and love and power restore the plan of God on earth. And this simple song says, light I am, and then you look at somebody and say, light you are, light I am, light is the truth of you. And it's real simple. It goes like this. Light I am, light you are, light I am, light is the truth of you. Together? Light I am, light you are, light I am, light is the truth of you. How about love? Love I am, love you are, love. I am. Love is the truth of you. How about joy? Joy. I am. Joy. You are. Joy. I am. Joy is the truth of you. How about happy? Happy. I am. Happy. You are. Happy I am. Happy is the truth of you. One more time. Light, light. I am. Light. You are. Light I am. Light is the truth of you. One more song I'd like to share with you. But before I do, and this is a healing song to bring a lot of healing into your body. But before you do, for the last 3 years, people have been requesting that I put something together to override 5Gs and to bring harmony into the household. And so many years ago, we built one, and it looks a little bit like this with a pyramid on the top, and when you push the button you'll see it go red, orange, yellow, green, and it's putting out the healing energies for the chakras. And so we added shungite in there along with some other precious stones to be the carrier wave to bring balance within your home space. And soon after we put them out on the market, we took them off the market because people were buying it from us for several $100s, and they were turning around selling it for $3,000. And so my son said, we don't want to be taken advantage, we don't want people to take advantage of other people, especially when they're trying to get well and getting in their space, and they're charging way too much for a device. So I said to my son, I said, let's put it back on the market. We're going to change the label. This is only a prototype. I just speedily put this thing together just to give you a heads up of what's coming down the pike. And and that's put it where we're going to put a retail price where no one else can sell it beyond that and take advantage of people. And so we're going to update it and put more circuitry in it where it's going to help to override all the electrical pollution, the 5Gs, all the other, anything that is not harmonious with nature. This will override it and make it more harmonious. And so I just wanted to share that with you, that what's coming down the pike in our electronic assembly business. So this song, it says, healing is flowing. Healing is flowing. It's flowing through you and through me. And it goes like this. Healing is flowing. Healing is flowing. It's flowing through you and through me. Healing is flowing through you and me. Together. Healing is flowing. Healing is flowing. It's flowing through you and through me. Healing power is flowing. Healing power is flowing. Healing power is flowing. It's flowing through you and through me. How about healing grace is flowing? Healing grace is flowing. Healing grace is flowing. it's flowing through you and through me. Light is flowing, light is flowing, light is flowing, it's flowing through you and through me. How about light is shining through you and me? Light is shining, light is shining, it's shining through you and through me. Light is glowing through you and me. Light is glowing, light is glowing, it's glowing through you and through me. Joy is flowing, joy is flowing, joy is flowing, it's flowing through you and through me. Love is flowing, love is flowing. Oh yes, love is flowing, it's flowing through you and through me. One more time. Love is flowing through you and me. Love is flowing, love is flowing, it's flowing through you and through me. Yes, it's flowing through you and through me. One more time. Yes, it's flowing through you and